Hi and good afternoon, and welcome to Thfc Till I Die, your home of Tottenham, past, present, and future. An exciting future, hopefully. And as you can see, they've let me loose in the asylum. They've let me go solo. So, welcome to the House of Fun, madness of Spurs news. Everything from Paratici to Madison, God knows where we'll go in the next hour or so. But big up everyone, and please hit that like button, subscription button, and also pick up your memberships as well while you're there. So let's quickly see who's in the chat who's joining me this afternoon. We've got Darrell Denton, Don the Don the Con Paratici still pulling the strings. Be afraid, be very afraid. I'll have my word on the Don in a minute. And really shocked by that news I was given this morning. We've got Carl Simpson. Big up, Carl. Afternoon, Dermot. Hope you are well. And hello, everyone in the chat. Big up to Wayne Bonner as well. He says, "What's up, everyone? Hope you're all well and having a great day. I'm still available on the free if Levy needs a player." Hold on. We'll let Paratici know, see what he says. There are rumours we are after the outgoing Villa director of football, so Paratici won't be for long. That's gone very quiet on the director of football. And I think Paratici is, I'm going to explain to me what his role is at the moment. But maybe you're right, Carl. We'll have to wait and see. Big up Terry White. He says, big up everyone. We've got Ellie in the house. Big up Ellie. Afternoon, I'm Maestro presenter. Big up Dermot. You are the king of the breaking news too. Not really, but do my best. We've got Tail Cockrell. Good afternoon, all. We've got View on Spurs, Coys. EL Cockrell says, Ellie, I plugged THFC. Also, your show earlier. Yeah, Ellie's on tomorrow morning at 10:30 with her World Cup build-up. Who else we got in now? We've got Wembley One. Big up Wembley One. He says, good afternoon, everyone. Am I excited for the new season yet, you ask? Well, we seriously have about 10 or 12 moves we need to make, both incomings and outgoings. Can I see us making that number? Half. Well, we'll have to see. We've got Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. Good afternoon, you lovely bunch. We've got Jim. That was Kate and her husband, Jim. Hi, and everyone. Wayne just saying hi to Jim and afternoon, Kate. Who else we got in? View on Spurs. I knew Fabio was still involved. I think we all did somewhere along the way. We've got Spurs Ninja. Big up Derm. We've got Jazz Fusion. You could tell Paratici was pulling the strings with the keeper deal. Yeah, he was. What's the news is there towards the Don? I will tell you now in a minute. And we've got Dragon D's Nuts with a thumbs up. Big up Dragon D's Nuts. I love that name. And then we've got Joseph Munhan Coys. Big up, Joseph. Hope you're doing well. Right. Mr. Paratici, the Don is back in town, and this is what I was given this morning. Fabio Paratici is still involved with Tottenham Hotspur on a constantly basis after parts of his FIFA ban were lifted earlier this year. Now, Paratici was behind the strings for the goalkeeper we got. I think he's doing some consultant work as well for Sampdoria. If I'm right, I read that somewhere as well. So, look, he's still there. Levy likes him. Levy likes how he does business, and he's built a very strong base at Tottenham at the moment. So, if he's there just telling the Scott Munn what to do or whatever, I think it's a good thing to have him there. He's still got his contacts. He's still got clubs he can talk to, people who we can talk to get players in. So we will wait and see. But that is what I found out today on Fabio Paratici. He is still involved with Tottenham on a constantly basis after parts of his FIFA ban were lifted earlier this year. We've got a few more people coming in. We've got David Levia. Good afternoon. All just read and heard City are sniffing around Madison. I wouldn't believe everything you read, David. I really want, but I'm going to give you the latest on Madison now in a minute. We've got Leo Kid E1 afternoon. We've got Ollie, big up Ollie, afternoon all. View on Spurs. I disagree, Dermot. His signings have been poor. Well, look, I think if you look at Hitchin, he wasted a load of money on players, and I feel Paratici he done a better job. Myself, I think he bought in better players. Not all transfers work out. We all know that there is a bit of luck in transfers. They can go right or they can go wrong. But I think some of the work he's done and some of the places brought in, especially Romero, Kulu, Bentacore, them players that worked out, them ones that got us into top four that January. And look, I think he's done an excellent job at Tottenham. But look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. So we just have to wait and see. We've got also Andrew Gregory, afternoon, guys. We've got FTSM Column, afternoon all. We've got Mia in the house. Big up, Mia. Hope you're doing well. We've got Wayne said, what exactly do they mean by consultantly work? I have no problem with it. If his contacts are useful, then make most of it. And that's it, Wayne. You might as well use what's there. If he's there and he's got the contacts, use them. And look, for me, I think he was a great director of football. He's put in the base at Tottenham now that will, for the person to come in to build on. And I think he's done a fantastic job. So we'll just have to wait and see. Jim says, I do not understand how he's still involved. Thought he was banned in football. They seem to do whatever they please. He was banned from, I think, being a director and being a football director of any club worldwide. But he can do this. He can still advise clubs, advise Tottenham, advise Sampdoria what they're doing for transfers and everything. So I think he can still do that. Wayne saying Kulu and Bentacore, that's all I'm saying. Exactly. There's 2 players out of 3 or 4 he brought in. There's a reason that Bremer is being linked. Paratici's doing for 3 teams. Yeah, I think Sampdoria won. I don't know who the other one is, Carly. If you can let me know. And then we've got David saying hello to me. Matthew, big up, hello, good night. And that's about it. So anyway, that's Paratici news. We're now going to go on to the Spurs Daily News. Newcastle have been insisting James Maddison for some days now, interested in James Maddison for some days, but Spurs are now seen as favourites for Maddison. He is speaking to both sides, but he knows Andrew's pushing a lot to get things done. Spurs are planning to submit a bid in the next few days. Leicester are looking for around £50 million, but Aston Villa are entering late. So Villa are now starting to come into the race. There was news this morning Spurs have put in a 30 million bid. I don't know how true that is, but I think around 50 million, 45 million probably be the asking price for James Maddison. Look, and especially with the FFP as well with Newcastle, if they buy the player they're after, then they cannot buy Maddison. So, it takes time, and transfers are not like FIFA. You just can't go out and splash the cash. There's a lot of talks. Is he happy to the club? Is he happy with the area? So there's a lot of different bits of business have to go along, but we have to see what happens. We've got Kate saying, why? Sorry. Why on earth have we not just bid and signed him already? Look, it takes time to do transfers. There's nothing about it. It just takes time. And do you know what I mean? You can't rush these things. Ellie saying Mia is here. She's a mod, so behave and keep it clean, Carl. Yeah, well, Carl's a mod too. Andrew saying sounds typical Levy low balling again. Look, you have to start somewhere. You start with one bid, they come in with a bid, you meet in the middle. You just have to see what happens. Also, we've got Peter M, big up everyone. Carl saying Maddison wouldn't go to Burnham either. He wants London. Yeah, of course he does. There's just a case of Leicester and Spurs meeting on a reasonable price for him. And I think it's going to be around 40, 45 million. I think that would be the price for Maddison. But that is the latest on him. Also, we've got this news coming in that Bayern Leverkusen defender Edmund Tapsoba is reportedly set for a move to Spurs for a fee around £25 million. Look, for me, it's a good buy. It's a centre-back. That's what we want. We need centre-backs as well, desperately, to replace the likes of Dyer, Sanchez, Davis, and the players that need to go out, the Deadwood that need to go out. So I think 25 million is a very good buy for him. Spurs, this is what I was talking about. Spurs will offer 30 million for Maddison. It's expected this to be rejected as it's 30 million short of what City have valued them at. This is Leicester City. This could leave the door open for Newcastle defending on their FFP standing. Well, As far as I know, if Newcastle buy the player, they're going to have to, then they cannot buy Maddison because of FFP, because they'll be over the limit. So I think this is just an early bid from Spurs to see can we meet in the middle. As I said, it'll probably go to 40, 45. That's what I'm thinking. And that will get the job done. We've got Adrian Soccer, big up. He says, Spurs representatives have had to talk to players' representatives and see if the player wants to come. Then the terms have to be with the player before the club makes an official bid. Then the haggling begins. Exactly. Absolutely, that spot on view on Spurs. Apparently, no one is coming in for our Deadwood. Big problem. We'll have to wait and see in that. We've got Carl saying Tabsoba needs to be picked up now as a Dutch defender. Get it sorted. Yeah, that's all we need to do. We've got Eltel Cockrell. It's great that we're being linked, talked about good players, but the doors will open and shut once 2 Australian gentlemen come through the doors. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely right, Elton. I do agree with you on that. We've got Wayne Bonder with a super chat. He says, I don't get 25 million if he's that good. I don't get 25 million if he's that good, any, not more. Look, I think that's the 25 million's a steal, I think, for me, for a defender. And he's a decent defender at that as well. So we just have to see, Wayne, where it goes from there. Look, it could rise up. It could be 25 million plus add-ons. So that the transfer fee could rise, or could be just straight 25 million. So we don't know. But look, it's good that we're being linked with these players. It's good that we're looking to bring these players into the club to replace the Deadwood. And we had to get rid of the Deadwood, which is absolutely so important. We've got Kate saying, yeah, I saw you say that last night, Wayne, but apparently Man United have come in for him. Now, Basuma Ellie saying, will be the best side, will be his best side, and he'll show his true form this season under Ange. Look, for me, I think Bentancur was his best signing. Paratici. I think him, Kulu. I thought Bentancur was just so consistent with his play, and we really missed him when he got injured. Really missed him. So look, we have to wait and see what happens. But look, for me, let me know in the chat, who do you think Paratici's best signing was? For me, it is Bentancur. It really is. We've got Etel saying the reports are saying that we're looking to move 10 players on, but Dyer is not on that list. Should I be worried? Well, I can give you the latest on that actually here. And this is, no, it's not that one. Sorry, I have got it here. Where did I put it? Now. This is it here. Tottenham Hotspur head coach Andrew Postecoglou wants to get rid of as many players as 10 players this summer. The list of outgoing players include Sanchez, Tantanga, Rodin, Reglion, Mr. Burger King, Lo Celso, and Ivan Perisic. And for Eric Moonboots Dyer, Tottenham have not ruled out a summer departure for the central defender Eric Dyer during this current transfer window. However, he's more likely to leave the football club on the free when his contract expires next summer. So that's the latest on that. Look, for me, I think it's right. They're the players I will get rid of as well. But let me know in the chat if you think any different to me. And look, these players have to go. I would keep Perisic if I was going to keep anyone. I think he's there good as a squad player, personally. But Sanchez, Tatanga, Rodin, Reglion, Dombele, Lo Celso, they need to all go. Absolutely all go. And Eric Dyer, he definitely needs to go. Look, if you get a bid from 5, 6, 7, 8 million, take it. Just get him off the books. He really has no place at us at all. We've got Terry White says Destiny could be his best signing when all said and done. That is so true. We've got Jazz Fusion. Perisic wants to leave. Yes, he does. I think he's looking to go to Italy, back to Italy again. I don't know which club it is, but I know he wants to go back to Italy. Adrian Soccer, 4 clubs have shown interest in this. So I know Villa are one, and I know I think Sevilla the other. I don't know who the other 2 at the moment. We've got Jazz Fusion. Dyer is not leaving unless he's paid off. That could be another option as well. So we have to see. Carl saying, to be fair, I prefer Paratici. Keeping an eye on it. Otherwise, Levy's going to be let loose as usual. Yeah, he's going to be let loose in the in the loony bin, Levy, and then we definitely will be in lots of trouble. We've got Ollie says he agrees with me. Thank you very much. Bentacle was definitely Paratici's best signing, Dermot, and for me, yeah, I agree with that. I think it was. For me, we've got Kate saying that Dyer and Højbjerg have said they don't want to move. They have unfinished business at Spurs and want to fight for their place. Højbjerg is a different kettle of fish for me. Højbjerg, I would keep Højbjerg because I'm a massive Højbjerg fan. But Eric Dyer, please, for the love of God, if there's anything holy up there in the skies, just leave the club, please, because you're absolutely useless. Please, just make all our dreams come true. Dragon that's D's nuts says I would keep Reggie and Tatanga. I wouldn't keep Tatanga. He needs to go. He's just so injury prone. He really, really is. And as for Reggie, do you know what? He might be a good backup player or a good squad player, I think. But look, we have to wait and see what happens. Ellis and Rio Betis and Barcelona interested in Lascelles. So are the other two clubs? Well, yeah, well, we have to see what happens. Real Betis and Barcelona say Adrian Sucker, Jazz Fusion said Barca want Gio, yeah. Inter Milan want Lloris. Now, I'm hearing actually on the grapevine that Hugo could be let go on a free transfer this year. He could, whatever it is, he maybe goes. So we're looking to get rid of Hugo. We've got two decent goalkeepers in now, so we have to see what happens. We've got El Tel Cockrell says, I'd let Skip and Højbjerg move on. If you're really looking to push on and play that front foot football, no room for passages. Look, Skippy, yeah, I would agree with that. But we just have to wait and see. For Højbjerg, I think Højbjerg is a good squad player. And we'll see what happens from there. Look, I wouldn't get rid of him because he'd be a great squad player. He's a great motivator. And look, we'll have to see what happens. This is all rumor and counter rumor, so we really don't know what's happening. Peter M says, "Isn't Segi on that departure list?" Yeah, he'd be on mine for definitely. View on Spurs, a lot of them ain't going unless they're paid off. No one's paying money for them. Well, we have to wait and see. And then we've got Spurs T-Rex. Remember, Dyer doesn't count as an English homegrown player. No, he doesn't. He doesn't because he's from, I think, Portugal, if I'm right. So we have to, that's where he's from. So we've got View on Spurs. Those Deadwood players have been here for years. We've been trying to flog them for years, not about one window. Well, we have to see what Ange comes in, what the club do. Do they cancel contracts? Do they just rip up? If they only got a year left in the contract, did they just pay them that year and let them go and find the club themselves or whatever? So we have to wait and see. Peter Rem says Tatanga has the talent, but he's too easy led into fouling, and that's a liability. And also, he's injury prone as well, Tatanga. How many times has he been injured? And he played one good game on his debut, and he has been a liability. I do actually agree with that. I don't trust him in defence, and he's too injury prone. So I think his time at Spurs is done. Kate says, just a girl who loves Spurs, says Perisic is on 180k a week. He's stealing the living. Get him off the wage bill as soon as possible. Yep, I think it's a lot of them stealing the wage. Dyer, Sanchez, Tatanga. Don Bellier, Lascelles, so there's a lot of them. Harry Winks is another one as well, who are stealing their living at Spurs. Really is. Right, we've got Adrian Soccer says Højbjerg and Skip will suit Angie because he varies his midfield three. Mostly Angie plays one number 6 and 2 number 8s, but he also plays a number 6, number 8, and a number 10, and a number 6 with 2 number 10s. That's a bit confusing, but yeah, I get what you're meaning. I do get what you mean. And look, I would keep Højbjerg. Look, I would send Skip out on loan. I really would send Skip out on loan, but I would keep Højbjerg. I really, really would. We've got Carl Simpson, Tantanga. We could use a part exchange in Germany. They love English players. Yeah, they do. We've got Juicy LMAO. It says, has Tapsoba Van de Van have been signed yet? Not as far as I know, but I'm waiting on confirmation. Waiting to see what happens really, and just wait for information. We've got Dragon D Nuts. Look what Ange did with CCC. Tantanga is better than Carter Vickers. I think Carter Vickers is actually better than Tantanga. I think because he's just too injury prone. That's the only thing I got against him. He's just too injury prone. So we just have to wait and see. Jim saying, can we put Levy on the transfer list as well? Yeah, we could do. I'd love to know how much we'll get from. Probably about 10p. But that would be a good idea. Agree with you from Spurs. I've heard nothing but good positive things about him. And I want to see him get some minutes as well. Yeah, that's so true. And we've got views, but hopefully, Wayne, we need to see our academy players come through. And this is where it is, our academy players are so vital for the club's future. And this is where we're not using them. Back in the 80s, 70s, Steve Perryman came through the youth ranks. A lot of players in the 70s and 80s came through. Mickey Hazard came through the youth ranks. We had a few good. What was the other player that came through the ranks as well around the same time? His name escapes me anyway at the moment. But there's a few players that came through that team. And look, if you're old enough, you're good enough. It's the old saying, isn't it? If you're old enough, you're good enough. So we'll have to see what happens. We really, really do. Right. Another list here. Now, this is about one of our young players, and it is about Romero. Romero Manded reveals Spurs set for compensation after winger moves abroad. Now, the winger who is comfortable on either flank came through the academy at Spurs, but is yet to make his first team debut and is already undergoing his medical with Standard Liège after reaching an agreement on a 4-year contract. Tottenham will be due some compensation for their part in developing the Edmonton-born product, who travelled with the Spurs first team squad on a couple of occasions during the first half of the 22-23 season. This is an academy player that we should have really brought through and put into the first team, but we didn't. Either Conte didn't rate him, or for whatever reason, he never got. I think it's under Nuno and Conte and Mason. They never give this lad a chance, and we didn't sign him up on a contract, and he's gone. So, it's really, really sad that he one of our own has actually had to go abroad. But I would say there will be an add-on clause on that if he gets sold again. It was a bit like the player that went to Sporting Lisbon. We had a sell-on clause for that as well. So we just have to wait and see. But look, it shows that we need to trust our youngsters. If they're good enough, they need to put them in and see where they take us. We need players that are hungry. We need players that are determined to bring Tottenham forward and play for the badge and play for the fans, not play for themselves or not play for the money they're getting. And that's the problem with football today. There's too many players just playing for their wage packet, playing for themselves and not playing for the club and what the club represents and what it means to play for Tottenham Hotspur, what it means to pull on the shirt, what it means to run out at White Hart Lane. And players are dying breed like that. It's all today about money and how much they can get, how much their agents to get. I understand football's a short career. It's only a 10, 15-year career. I get that. And you've got to make as much money as you can. But you've got to, if you're playing for a club, you've got to show that club some pride. There's Harry Kane's one of them who does. Son does. Højbjerg is proud to play for Spurs. Look, and there's players that don't. There's players that just don't care. They're just there for the money, the masonry's ready. So, we just have to wait and see. But it's really sad that one of our youngsters has actually had to go and leave the club, and we haven't offered him a new contract. And it's really sad that he's left the club now, and he's a talent that he could have come into the club, come into the first team, done a Mickey Hazard, done a Steve Perryman. Maybe he wouldn't have worked out, but we don't know. We don't know until we try them. So, it's very sad, but look, it is what it is. He's gone. He's on his way to Standard Liège in Belgium. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But it's really, really sad to see him go. Eltel Cockrell says, for what I saw on Spurs play, he was ripping apart our defenders at will, looked very good and felt he should have been given a chance ahead of players that were leaving who were on loan. Yeah, exactly. And Carl says, Levy tried to keep Mundell, but he directed all contracts. Well, wouldn't you? If you knew you weren't getting any first team action or being even considered for the first team, wouldn't you just say, look, I'm going somewhere else where I'm going to get guaranteed football? I'm not going to sit here and and not be picked for the first team. And that's what some players do. Some players are quite happy to sit on the bench or sit in the reserves because they can get good money just doing that. And you want to play football, and that's what you want to do. A few on Spurs says, yeah, fair play to the lad. We've got Adrian Sucker says, Dermot, I've watched the academy play games. It's hard to judge because academy football is not that competitive. Yeah, I understand that, but you've got to, if you got that passion or that drive, you know that you want to. If you're given a chance, you take it with both hands, and you got to prove that you deserve that chance. If you don't prove you don't deserve that chance, then you're not going to get it. So, look, it's nothing about him. It's just managers didn't fancy him, and he's had to say, right, I have to go somewhere else. So we have to wait and see what happens on that. We've got Daniel Phil, big up. Daniel says, get Vandy Ven in 6'4", Colossus and fast, only 22. Tabsoba, who wants to join, Madison, who wants to join. You can also play 8 or 10. Stop pussyfooting around these and quality targets. Yeah, and I think we will get them in. I think things are changing at Spurs, and which hopefully for the better. Levy tried to keep Mundell. He did. We've got view on Spurs. Good on Luka Modric and turning it down. I missed the beginning of the show. Why are you the loans? Philip's on his way back from Galway. Ellie's gone. Ellie's having a rest day, and Mia's just relaxing. So they've let me loose in the asylum, basically. So hope you're enjoying it. We've got Ryan217 says, as long as Levy is at the club, when will fans realise nothing will change? Even if I had Pep as manager. Look, Ryan, I don't agree with that. I really do not agree with that one iota. Look, look, I'm not Levy's biggest fan. I admit that, but I try to be balanced in my argument of what he's done. If you look what he's done off the field, he's changed us to a club that was struggling, a club that was not financially secure, to now becoming a club that's really secure financially, with one of the best stadiums in the world. Yet we've got one of the best training facilities in the world. And I know that doesn't bring success. That doesn't bring trophies. I get that. And we all want trophies. We all want that day at Wembley. We all want to win cups. We all want to win leagues and whatever. But you got to start somewhere with a solid defense, with a solid foundation. And maybe we've got this solid foundation now, and with the right manager in Ange Postecoglou, maybe now, and with his attitude of taking no crap, I'm doing it my way, maybe now he's finding that he can, maybe we may find that we move forward and see where it goes from there. But look, we can only see what happens. We've got 2 players in already. Okay, one of them was a re-sign from a loan deal on Kulu. But we've got a goalkeeper in now. We're looking to get a couple of defenders in as well. We have to see what happens for the rest of the window. And then we can only judge if we have moved forward on the 1st of September and at the start of the season as well. That's when we can judge how far we've moved. And then we know if things are changing or not. So we just have to wait and see. Just to go to Love Spurs says, understands Luka Modric received one of the biggest salary proposals ever in football from Saudi. He decided to turn down the bid with the utmost respect. And look, I'm glad he has. I think this we should be look at Saudi Arabia model and be very afraid of what's coming down the line, because they will price everyone out of the market. And look, if you look at Newcastle, they're Qatari. I think they're Saudi Arabia owned. Man City are UAE owned. Manchester United could be Qatari owned. Do you know, these are big countries with big wealth behind them, the royal families that got oil. It's all within the same thing, that they've got money to burn, and they won't be scared to splash the cash. And if you look at this Saudi Arabia League, Ronaldo's gone there. I don't know how much Ronaldo's on a year. I think I heard it was $1 million a game or something stupid like that. You got Messi, who's gone to America, who turned down to go to Saudi Arabia as well. So, you can have all the money in the world, but these are players that want to play football in a competitive league, not in a league that's you're just there for to pick up a paycheck and a good money. We just have to wait and see on that. We've got Chris, Matt of Football TV. Big up, Chris. How you doing? We've got Jim says, I think this season's opened Levy's eyes. He's seen the clubs overtake us and no European football, and I really think he will back Ange. I think he will as well. Perro has signed on a permanent basis on the 1st of July when 40 million fee will be due. Yeah, we've got Audio Austin. Big up, say hello there, Dermot. We've got Peter M. Big up, Luca. True, yeah, absolute. Well done for him for doing that. Jazz Fusion, yes, they are, and Taps as well. I think these clubs are excited about that. Yeah. We've got Carl Simpson. Have we put an offer in for Venn now? I think we have. I'm waiting to hear back from the person who I use, and he hasn't. Let me just check if he sent me anything. No, not just about yet. No, not yet. So there's nothing there, but we have got something on Sancho. Now, if I can find out which one I put it in. Is it that one? Yeah, that's it there. Spurs are interested in Sancho, maybe reignited after the club sets his 3 asking price for the player. Reports starting off as around £45 million could be enough to get the English winger in. And let me know, would you be happy with Sancho? Would you think he'd be a good signing for us to see what happens? For me, I don't think he would be. I don't want him at the club, to be fair. I think we've got enough wingers and enough midfielders. I think we need defenders. We need another goalkeeper and a defender, but we have to wait and see. Well, look, that is all the latest news we have today on THFC Till I Die. Look, we will be back later. We'll be back tomorrow at 4. But that is all the news I have today. Listen, thank you all for watching in. We've got the poll. Let's see. The poll is here. Let me end the poll. Are you excited about the new season upcoming? 74% said yes. 25% say no. So 74 of you seem happy, and that was a 50-vote poll. So that was actually quite good. And I am excited about the new season. I think we will get there. I think Spurs could have a great season. No Europe, make us concentrate on other domestic competitions where we can actually maybe go and just say, do you know what, we're going to go for it. And I think we will. And I think Andrew will bring us this exciting football that we all wanted. The competition, by the way, will be back tomorrow. Ellie will have a question in the morning. This is the final week of the competition, and to win the Emerson shirt. But Ellie will have a question in the morning. Whatever you do, have a lovely rest of the afternoon. Come on, you Spurs. In Ange we trust.